Have you ever jolted awake at exactly the same time every night, your heart pounding or your mind racing with thoughts you can't quite place? Perhaps it's always 2 a.m., 3:15 a.m., or even 4 a.m., like clockwork. You blink in the darkness, wondering what triggered this sudden alertness and why it keeps happening. Most people shrug off these wake-ups as a random quirk of getting older, of stress, or simply needing the bathroom. But what if this precise nightly alarm is your body's subtle warning sign that something serious is brewing underneath the surface? Stay with me, because if you're waking up at the same exact time every night, your body might be in trouble in ways you never imagined. By the end of this video, you'll know precisely why it happens, which underlying health risks it can signal, and most importantly, what you can do starting tonight to reclaim peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. If you've ever found yourself tossing and turning, peeking at the clock, and seeing the same numbers staring back at you, you're not alone. Millions of people, especially over the age of 60, experience a predictable interruption in their sleep cycle, yet very few realize it could be connected to underlying factors that are not just about getting older. The most crucial part is that the fix often involves simple adjustments to bedtime habits, nutrition, activity levels, and your approach to stress. But many folks don't realize the harm of letting it slide, how it chips away at muscle recovery, immune function, and even mental sharpness. The biggest twist. The most damaging cause might well be something you've been ignoring for years. Keep watching, because you'll want to hear the final and most critical piece of advice that ties everything together. Your most important takeaway could come right at the end. Now, why is this topic so urgent? Waking up nightly at the same time can be triggered by a range of issues, from chronic pain and anxiety to hormonal imbalances and even heart problems. Yes, sometimes the explanation is simple. Maybe you drank too much fluid in the evening or snacked late at night, but often, there's more at stake. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to open your eyes to how your body sends distress signals. Every single night, your internal clock is trying to tell you something. Your mind might be picking up on psychological burdens. Your metabolism might be flagging. Or your heart could be under more strain than you realize. This video is here to show you where to look and what to do, so that you can face these obstacles head-on and get back to a restful night's sleep. If you're ready to reclaim your nights and protect your long-term well-being, stay with me until the very end. We need to talk about why this seemingly simple phenomenon is so important, why waking up at, say, 3 a.m. night after night is more than a nuisance. For one, fragmented sleep dramatically increases your risk of falls and injuries, especially after age 60. When you lose that essential deep rest, your muscle coordination and balance get compromised, leaving you more vulnerable during everyday activities. Second, it heightens inflammation in the body, something strongly linked to arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Sleep is when your system carries out essential repairs, like a mechanic working on your engine overnight. Cut that process short, and you're driving a car in need of maintenance, risking breakdown at any moment. Another sobering statistic: chronic insomnia or disrupted sleep is associated with a higher risk of stroke in older adults. Some research points out that consistent sleep disturbances can elevate stress hormones, alter blood pressure regulation, and pave the way for cardiovascular problems. And we're not just talking about severe sleep disorders. Even that nightly half-hour of lying awake, checking your clock, or feeling restless can accumulate into bigger consequences over time. One more thing, your mental and emotional well-being can really suffer. After a night of repeated wake-ups, your mood can plummet, your focus can blur, and your resilience to stress dips. Over weeks or months, that can spiral into anxiety or depression, particularly if you feel trapped in a cycle you can't break. And for many older adults, this cycle can feed into itself. Sleep problems can spark anxiety, which makes sleep even more elusive, forming a frustrating loop. Now that you understand the bigger stakes, let's break down some of the most common reasons people wake up at a set time each night. We're going to look at 6 critical factors that could be fueling your disruptions. Each of these points comes with real solutions you can start implementing today. Then, we'll arrive at the biggest shocker, what you absolutely must know to protect your health if all else fails. First, consider hidden stress and elevated nighttime cortisol levels. Stress might seem like an obvious culprit. Who hasn't heard that stress can keep you up at night? But the real story is more surprising and complicated. Many older adults assume that because they're retired or their kids are grown, they shouldn't be stressed anymore. But that's not the case. Stress doesn't just come from having a busy schedule. It can come from health anxieties, financial concerns, grieving lost friends, or feeling lonely. When your subconscious mind grapples with these worries, your body may start pumping out cortisol at odd hours, even in the middle of the night. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone for a reason. Normally, it follows a predictable pattern, peaking in the morning to help you wake up. But if you're under constant internal tension, your cortisol can spike at 2 o'clock or 3 a.m., jolting you awake. And if you keep seeing that same time on the clock, it may well be your body's alarm. The key to addressing this: introduce a calm-down routine before bed, gentle stretching, 5 minutes of slow breathing, or listening to tranquil music. Some people find that journaling helps put daytime worries to rest before they crawl under the covers. If nighttime stress is your culprit, these small tweaks can gradually reset your cortisol rhythm, often in just a few weeks. Second, let's talk about the foods you eat after sunset, especially sugary or heavy late-night snacks. As we age, our metabolism slows, and we become more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations. Ever notice how you might doze off just fine, but then bolt awake a few hours later feeling jittery or oddly hungry? This could be because your blood sugar spiked from a late-night meal or snack, then crashed, triggering stress hormones like adrenaline. And adrenaline has a knack for waking you up in a hurry. Many older adults love to indulge in a sweet treat before bed, maybe a slice of pie or a bowl of ice cream. But that sugar rush can come back to haunt you at 2 o'clock or 3 a.m. Studies show that large, late meals can also provoke acid reflux or heartburn during the night, contributing to those uncomfortable wake-ups. The solution: aim for a lighter dinner, ideally finished at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you truly need a snack, pick something with a balance of protein and healthy fats, like a small handful of nuts or a little Greek yogurt. This helps stabilize your blood sugar through the night, so you're less likely to experience dramatic spikes or crashes. Third, pay attention to the temperature and environment of your bedroom. Your body's internal thermostat naturally lowers as you drift into deep sleep, helping you feel snug and restful. But if your room is too warm, say above 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius, you could experience repeated awakenings. A warm, stuffy environment forces your cardiovascular system to work harder to cool you down. Your heart rate might go up slightly, and your brain may sense discomfort, nudging you awake at a particular stage of the sleep cycle, often around the same time every night. On the flip side, if your room is freezing cold or you have a draft blowing on you, that too can jolt you out of slumber. The fix is simple: aim for a bedroom temperature around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, use breathable bedding, and if possible, keep the air circulating gently with a fan or open window. Check if you wake up consistently at a time when the night air gets colder or warmer. Sometimes external temperature shifts coincide exactly with your awakenings. Fourth, many older adults underestimate how pain or discomfort in the body can lead to these precise wake-ups. Maybe you've got arthritis in your knees that flares at 3 a.m., or stiff shoulders that start throbbing the moment you turn onto your side. Because it happens at the same stage of your sleep cycle, the time can be consistent from night to night. The problem is, once pain has woken you up, you're more aware of it, and going back to sleep becomes a battle. Pain also triggers a spike in cortisol or adrenaline, substances that keep you awake. The solution: speak with your healthcare provider about better pain management strategies at night, whether that's adjusting medication schedules or adding gentle stretches before bed. It's also worth looking into your mattress and pillows. Do they actually support your joints, or are they contributing to pressure points? Sometimes, the simplest change in bedding can reduce pain-based awakenings dramatically. Fifth, we have to address the elephant in the room: bathroom trips. As we get older, we often face nocturia, a condition where the bladder can't hold as much urine, or the kidneys produce more urine at night. For many older adults, waking up to use the restroom can become so routine that it feels inevitable. But the time you wake up could be suspiciously consistent. Maybe it's 3 a.m., and you're stumbling in the dark, half asleep. While it might just seem like nature's call, there could be an underlying cause such as bladder irritability, or in men's cases, an enlarged prostate. There's also the risk that you're drinking too many fluids, like water or tea, too close to bedtime. If you notice your bladder is cutting your night short at the exact same time, keep a fluid intake journal. Try cutting back liquids after 7 p.m. Avoid caffeine in the late afternoon and see if that changes the pattern. If it doesn't, it could be time to consult a doctor to rule out conditions like overactive bladder or prostate issues. Many people are shocked to learn that small medication tweaks or slight diet changes can drastically reduce the frequency of their nighttime bathroom visits. Sixth and finally, let's discuss something too many seniors overlook: untreated sleep apnea or other breathing-related issues. Sleep apnea occurs when your airway repeatedly closes during sleep, causing you to temporarily stop breathing. Often, your brain triggers a micro-awakening, sometimes at the same stage of sleep, leading you to pop awake in the middle of the night. You might not even realize your breathing stopped, you just know you're awake for no apparent reason, sometimes gasping or feeling your heart pound. This can be especially dangerous because chronic oxygen deprivation strains your heart and can lead to high blood pressure or other cardiovascular problems. A surprising number of older adults who wake up every night at a set time later discover mild to moderate sleep apnea. If you suspect this is an issue, maybe you snore or you feel unexplainably fatigued during the day, talk to a healthcare professional. A sleep study, even a home-based one, can reveal whether your nighttime awakenings are connected to breathing lapses. The fix might be simpler than you think: a CPAP machine, better sleeping posture, or losing a bit of weight if recommended by your doctor can all help keep your airway open, drastically improving sleep quality. Now, let's build toward the most critical moment, the biggest shock that ties all these points together. If you're consistently waking up at the same time each night, especially if it's accompanied by sudden alertness, heart palpitations, or a sense of anxiety, this might be a telltale sign of an underlying heart issue. Yes, the heart is incredibly sensitive to disruptions in oxygen levels, blood pressure surges, and stress hormones. Repeated awakenings at a specific hour can sometimes line up with your body's natural circadian dips in blood pressure. When that circadian pattern is off kilter, your heart might be struggling more than you think. There are documented cases where nighttime arrhythmias or mild chest discomfort present themselves at almost the same hour each night, eventually leading to serious cardiac events if left unchecked. Don't panic, but do take it as a wake-up call, literally. If these awakenings come with chest tightness, an elevated heart rate, or shortness of breath, please schedule a checkup. A quick ECG test or consultation can provide life-saving insights. Many older individuals only discover the severity of a cardiac condition after a real scare in the middle of the night. But by listening to your body's signals early, those nightly wake-ups, you can catch issues before they escalate. So where does that leave you? Here's the big takeaway: your night waking at a specific time is like your body pressing an internal alarm bell. It's not something to shrug off, it's a direct call to investigate your stress, diet, environment, physical discomforts, bathroom habits, breathing patterns, and even your heart's well-being. If you've recognized yourself in any of these 6 scenarios, don't ignore it. Start with small, manageable changes, keep track of your nighttime routine, reduce screen time and bright lights at least an hour before bed, avoid sugary or heavy meals close to bedtime, and consider gentle wind-down activities that lower stress hormones. If the problem persists, especially if it comes with pain, breathing issues, or heart concerns, talk to a healthcare professional. A simple conversation or test might be the difference between nights plagued by worry and nights of restful, healing sleep. How does this all wrap up? Ultimately, your ability to sleep through the night without waking isn't just about comfort, it's about preserving your health, independence, and overall longevity. Neglected sleep problems can spiral into more serious complications, from heart issues to metabolic disorders. But with awareness and action, you can restore your sleep, and by extension, your energy, mood, and zest for life. Remember this: if your eyes fling open at 3 a.m. like clockwork, don't just chalk it up to getting older. Investigate the root causes. Your body is wise, and it's trying to get your attention. If you found these insights helpful, here's my final challenge for you: pick at least one of the tips I mentioned, whether it's adjusting your evening meal, doing a quick mindfulness ritual, or making your bedroom more sleep-friendly, and try it tonight. Let us know in the comments if it makes a difference. And if you're ready to dive deeper, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more in-depth videos on pain relief, creating the perfect bedtime routine, and the surprising foods that can help you stay asleep all night. Don't miss out. Your next step could be the key to restoring peaceful, uninterrupted rest. Until next time, pay attention to the silent messages your body sends. They might just save your life.